Hi, I'm Holly Cates, personal stylist and style coach extraordinaire.
Hi, I'm Nolan Meter, celebrity stylist, shopping messiah, and accessory addict.
We are the best friends that you never knew that you needed. We are the industry insiders and fashion's odd couple. In both of our everyday lives and at industry events, we see the best and unfortunately the worst in clothing and style. We are fashion partners in crime dedicated to stopping the most heinous of all fashion crimes on the street, the runways, and beyond.
Join us as we take you inside our world, spilling the secrets of our experiences in the industry and inside our minds, judging people in the most loving way possible, most of the time, and stopping fashion criminals dead in their crocs. It's more important than just the do's and don'ts. Jump on the Hot Mess Express as we teach you how to be your best and most stylish self.
Well, hello there, fashion insiders. My name is Holly Cates, your favorite personal stylist. And let's be honest, the only Holly you need to know. Let's keep it real. We are having such a blast. I am on a mini series, actually roller coaster, where I am so psyched to introduce all of my fashion insider friends to my new bestie, Shanna Goldstone of Pari Passu, plus size contemporary. Would you say it's contemporary?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Contemporary. Anyway, this is so exciting. We have a fabulous story. And without further ado, I cannot even do this intro justice because this is valid proof that the universe puts the right people in your path. Shanna.
So true. Hi. Thank you for having me.
Oh my God. Of course. I couldn't get you on fast enough.
Oh, this is so exciting.
All about you. Start at the beginning. Don't leave anything out.
I have worked in retail for almost my entire career. I've worked in teen retail, I've worked in food retail, and I've also been a consultant for retail companies. And about 6 years ago, I had one of the most incredible opportunities, one of the most transformative opportunities in my career. And that was helping the actress Melissa McCarthy launch her clothing line, Melissa McCarthy 77. And first, I must tell you that she is absolutely as hilarious and lovely as she is in person as she is on screen. And I had the very best time working with her. But I had never really worked in this segment of the market before. I had never done plus. So I did what I would do with any other consulting gig, and that is research, that is due diligence. So I went out into the field and did what I do best, which is shop. I started at the bottom and worked my way up. I figured, I looked at Walmart, I looked at Target, I looked at Lane Bryant, and then I started to hit the department stores. I went to Macy's, I went to Lord and Taylor, and my assumption was that just as in straight sizes, the better retailer that you go to, the wider the selection, and the higher the price point. And that didn't happen. The better the retailer I went to, the less that I saw. And in fact, at the highest echelons of retail, the, Neiman Marcus's of the world, the Saks of the world, there was nothing on the floor. If I wanted to see a size 16, if they even had that, it was in the back.
And this was like recently, would you say? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. And I was floored. I mean, to say that I was floored actually was an understatement. I'm a straight size person myself, and I had always just assumed that the clothes that are available to me are available in sizes 0 to, 30, 40. I had no idea. It never really occurred to me. And this is the first time that I realized that there's a huge gulf between what is available for people who are below a size 12 and people who are above a size 12. And it was just shocking. The second big aha moment came when I was looking at how clothing was made. I am not a designer by trade. I did go to FIT, but I studied marketing. So I really didn't know how, I mean, I know how garments are made, generally speaking, but I didn't really know how plus size garments were made and if they were made any differently from street size garments. So I sat in on some design and production meetings, and uh, Melissa had a licensing deal. So she wasn't making the clothes herself, but rather she was working in conjunction with a very large clothing manufacturer. And that manufacturer in these design meetings were utilizing mannequins that were like a size 8, designing
For plus size.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And this is, in fact, not uncommon at all. And you don't have to be a neuroscientist to see that a size 8 mannequin looks nothing. It looks nothing like my body. It looks nothing like your body. It doesn't look like a human woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically a slightly hourglass form with little boobs and no tush.
Right.
And that doesn't look like anybody I know.
And it's a size 8.
Yeah, it's a size 8. And then what happens from there is garments are graded. And what that means is in order to get from an 8 to a 10, you add an inch and a half, 2 inches all the way around. In order to get to a size 6, you do the opposite. You take an inch and a half, 2 inches away, which is well and good if you're going up one size or down one size or up 2, down 2. But when you're going from an 8 to a 22, it doesn't work.
Right.
Mathematically, it doesn't work. Those standards don't apply, and you end up with a garment that doesn't fit well and does not retain the integrity of the original design. And that's really where it all falls apart.
Was that the problem with Melissa's line, or was she cognizant of that, or was that just the jumping off point from that?
That was really just the jumping off point. It was for me. I mean, that's what I saw. And, there was a lot that went on behind the scenes that I was not privy to in my role. And so I wouldn't put any of this on her at all.
I see. Right.
But it was more that this wasn't just specific to this line. Tons of lines are made like this. And so I set about trying to figure out why. Like, why wouldn't you just use a dressmaker form that looks like the size of the customer you're designing for?
That would make sense.
Right? But what I found out, shockingly, was those tools don't really exist. And that just blew my head off. Like, I could not believe it. If you look at a size 20 mannequin, size 20 dressmaker form, excuse me, it's basically just a larger version of the 8.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real difference in the contours of the form or where the weight is held. It's like those little Russian nesting dolls.
Yes.
They just get bigger, 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 bigger. And I mean, again, like, women don't look like that. So it's no wonder that the majority of plus size offerings don't fit very well. And that's really what got me to thinking and what got me to start Pari Passu.
So you're looking at the mannequin and you're like, I'm not a size 22, but this is not what a size 22 person looks like. So where's the disconnect? So what was the next step? You went home and you said what?
So I went home and I couldn't get it out of my head. And I worked with Melissa for about a year and a half. And even after that assignment had concluded and I had moved on to other clients, I still couldn't stop thinking about that and thinking about just how not only unfair this is, but also how could all of these companies be leaving so much money on the table? There's all these women out there. 68% of the American female population is above a size 14.
I want to say that again. 68% of American women are above a size 14. Is that what you said?
That is correct. And the average size of an American woman today is between a 16 and an 18.
Did you hear that, folks? Did you hear it? Straight from Shanna's mouth, straight from the source. I'm tired of y'all coming to me telling me you're going to work with me when y'all lose weight. You don't, nobody, what I say is when I'm done with you, you're not going to say you need to lose weight because your clothes are going to fit you right. But women don't know that. People don't know that. They look at a guy and they're like, oh, he's fat. But they look at a woman and they're like, oh, she's plus size. So
it's really something.
I know.
It's just amazing. And for every one plus size brand, so something that goes above a 14, there are 1,000 straight size brands or stores that carry straight size clothing.
Okay. So you have had this revelation. The lightning bolt has hit you.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your next step?
So my next step was trying to find out how I could create tools that would really make designing and producing clothing in sizes above a 12 fit better. And so the way I did this, I looked and I looked and I looked and I looked, and I could not find Dressmaker Forms anywhere that looked right, that looked like any women that I knew, that looked like my own body for what it's worth. And so what I did was I found a very large scale study that had been performed by a company where they took 3D body scanners and they scanned men, women, and children, over 100,000 participants across the United States. They aggregated all of the data and all of these 3D models, and then they sold them to people who need data like that, like airlines that need to figure out how big to make an airline seat, or even the US government to figure out how best to scale uniform production. So I purchased a slice of this data that corresponded to women between the ages of roughly 30 to 50 or 35 to 55 and above a size 14 with an average household income of $75,000 and higher. And that yielded 7,500 3D body scans. I had that analyzed, and from there, I created not one, but 3 dressmaker forms in 3 different shapes. Because what I learned from this study is that the shape of a woman's body is far, far more important than her size in getting a really great fit.
Can we get that on a pillow? I mean, and this is why it's pioneers. Like, I just want to say, as a personal stylist, when I work with plus size people, they think plus size is done. Like, oh, it's available. It doesn't mean it's right.
Correct.
That's the difference.
Yep.
Okay. So you have, is it form A, form B, and form C? Is that correct?
It's actually B, C, and D.
B, C, D. I have been in Shanna's showroom. It is amazing. I have a video, which I'm going to post it. And you will see the forms that have real waist and real butt and real thighs and boobs. And it's very different.
Belly and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so tell us about your product and how your sizing is featured.
Sure. So we create product based on a woman's shape, and then we float out into sizes. So especially for things that are very fitted, like trousers, some blouses, some dresses, they come in 21 different shape size combinations. So you figure out your shape, either B, C, or D, based on how you carry your weight. And then you determine your size. And our sizes are roughly equivalent to a US 12, 14, 16, 18, and so on.
And the product is great because I bought it.
Thank you. Thank you. So some things that are meant to be worn loose or not close to the body come in just one shape. Like, we're introducing a really beautiful oversized knee-length cardigan And that only comes in one shape because that is not meant to be tailored. It's meant to be worn as a layer over other things. But all of our trousers come in the 21 different shapes and sizes because especially in something like separates, that's when shape matters most. As any woman with big hips and thighs and a small waist will tell you, if something doesn't conform to her shape, then she has that big old gape in the waistband in the back.
I like to call it little in the middle, but you got much back.
Exactly.
Which is what I am. And I have to go a size up in my jeans just to get them over my thighs and my hips.
And then you have to have them taken in.
Yes.
At the waist.
And then I have a gigantic hole. It's gotten better now. Denim has gotten better now. But the reason how I met Shanna is because Mary Hyam, I think I'm saying her name right, friend of the podcast, had told me because I have a plus size customer, to tell me to go on your website. I talked on the phone with you. We met, we fell in love. I go to her showroom, meet her and your partner who is helping you, and look through all the product. I got the stuff on consignment. Of course, she bought everything, duh. But the product is really made well. The fabrics are very luxurious and it is really hip, in my opinion.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it.
It is not some old lady shit. And I think when people think of plus size, they think of old lady, older women that are an older demographic that are dowdy, that want t-shirts, with prints or funny sayings on them, and elastic waist pants, which I think is a kick in the balls to people that are younger or people that don't want elastic waist pants. I mean, only because I shop for this type of customer. And I'm telling you, I brought her a leather jacket. I brought her, an eyelet dress, an eyelet blouse, a this, a that, a really cool, shirt that cuts off at the waist, not to show her stomach, but just that to show that she has a waist. And other really cool things like a nod to a boucle jacket that was cropped. That it was just really different than what you see normally, than what I see normally, than some plus size t-shirts. That to me is what you see. And when I work with customers, I always talk about life beyond the mall. You only know what you know, but when you find small business owners like yourself that are really doing it different, you're like, why doesn't everyone else know this? Because, it's because you're taking the time to fill the need that is needed instead of cutting a t-shirt and a XXX. Well, everybody does that.
It is really, really important to me to offer my customers the very best things that we can create. I have worked in jobs with high-powered women who are plus size, and I see them spend all their money on shoes and handbags and the like, and then they're wearing just basic Eileen Fisher dresses because there really isn't anything else available. Everyone should have choice. And to me, that is the true luxury, right? To be able to choose, not to just say, well, I have to get these elastic waist pants because that's all that there is available to me.
Right. And I think, would you agree that most plus size women feel that way?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that they say, well, forget it. Clothes aren't made for me. They're not made for bodies like me. Even in this day and age, when this is the best time in the history of humanity to be plus size. I mean, this is, and when I say plus size, of course, that's technically is 14 and above, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that's 14 and above. So trying to find some little designer outfit, of course, that only goes up to an 8, that's annoying.
It's not just annoying, Holly, it's bullshit.
Right.
It's absolute bullshit. It's like everyone's money is the same color.
Agreed.
Right? Everyone's money is green. Everyone deserves to have choices. Look, I'm not knocking sweatpants. I'm wearing them right now. I'm not knocking elastic waist and t-shirts and stuff like that. There's a time and place for everything. But if you want something different, If you're looking for something that is a step up from that, it should be available to you. And if you want it, and great. And if you don't, great, but it should be available to you.
I think a lot of people who are in the garment industry, it is a risk for them to extend into plus size or to extend a lot of things in plus size, just like how things are pre-order now. Like, I want to buy something and it's fucking pre-order. I'm like, I don't want it in 6 months. I want it now. And so that is another thing that companies that don't have money, they're trying to feel it out and say, how many of these shirts do we need to actually run? Because if we only sell 34, then we're not going to run 100,000 piece order. We're not going to do that. So I get that, but it's really interesting to me to meet people like you who specialize in something that no one else is doing or doing correctly. Let's just say that. And the mannequins do look like a real person. I mean, everyone is different, but it's important for people, talking about in the wave of diversity and inclusion, this customer is consistently left out, in my opinion. Consistently left out. I mean, it doesn't matter, because when they try, they get blocked, or when they try over here, then it's like, and then you're right. It's like, well, this is all they have, or it's $500 for one thing.
Right.
Or it's too expensive. So, okay, tell us, so when you're developing your line now, as it's coming up on the fall season, what are the hottest trends for you going on right now?
One of the biggest trends that I am most excited about and that we are introducing into our line for fall is really spectacular knitwear. Everything from chunky knits to micro rib are super hot on the runway right now. And there's just so cozy and soft for fall. I love it. I'm super excited about that. I'm excited to get back into leather jackets, knee-high boots, big bags. The micro bag trend is done and dusted. Let's move on. Dark florals are another big one. I think lots of color, which is shocking. Normally, you don't see that until spring, but bright, fun color. There's a lot of that on the runway. And I think it's just the reaction to the somber mood that we've all been in for over a year and a half. There's a lot to get excited about.
Where do you get your inspiration? Are y'all going to the shows? Do you travel the world?
I wish I could tell you I travel the world, but not today. We take our inspiration from the shows and what's coming up, what's next, what's on trend for straight sizes. And then we see how those trends and designs can work on a body that is curvier. Because, my customer wants trends. She wants to be on point. So I wanted her to have the same trends and the same access to fashion that's offered to her straight size sisters.
Can I tell you what's giving me life right now? Giving me life.
Please.
Okay. So the jumpsuit, which I love.
I love a good jumpsuit.
Which is amazing. And when I got one, this was a couple years ago, Jonathan's like, oh, this is so great. So when you work in a nuclear power plant, you have something to wear. I was like, it's called style. Look it up. Okay. And it is still in style today. This one is so cute and has a drawstring waist with the big pockets. And then it's got the epaulets on the sleeves so you can tie up the sleeves. Loving that journey. But what's really giving me life is this woman with the shaved head and the jacket.
Oh, Lydia, she's incredible. Lydia Hudgens is a super, super talented photographer and also model. She's literally a force of nature. I adore her. Her look is so different, so unique, so outstanding. Yeah, she really brought an entire new dimension to our clothes.
I need to be best friends with her. Duh.
You should, for sure.
For my customer, I'm going to get her this jacket over this pantsuit because I think she already has the pantsuit, I'm pretty sure. And then I'm going to get her this leather jacket and she's going to look like a badass. And
I love it.
tell you, the pajama pants,
They're great.
Next level.
That's actually one of my favorite things for evening is wearing pants. There is nothing more spectacular than going somewhere really fabulous and looking fabulous, but also comfortable.
She didn't like the shirt with it because she felt like it was too much, but we put it with another shirt of yours and she's loving that.
Good.
She is loving that.
I love it.
There's so many other things on here that are out that we have already purchased that are sold out. Thank God we got you when it was going good.
Yay. And fall is coming soon. Fall will be up on the site, I think in mid-October.
What is next for Pari Passu? What are y'all going into? What can we expect to see?
What you can expect to see from Pari Passu are categories, new categories. We want to get into activewear and loungewear. Yeah, because activewear is another place that's totally right for the shape system. Like you can't just count on spandex to make up for fit.
Correct.
You just can't.
Can I get that on a pillow? Yes. Yes. Yes.
So we're really excited to expand into other categories. And I'm especially excited, hopefully next year, to try and do intimates and swim.
Intimates. I'm loving an intimate moment.
Yep.
When I was looking at her bathing suits, she had some cute ones, but some of them were matronly because she felt like she had to cover her midsection. Totally valid. Right. Totally get it. But I am putting in a request for a very hip tankini because, of course, we want to cover the midsection, but we want something fabulous on the bottom. Fun print and with a cool zhuzh over. I mean, I'm loving a kimono moment.
I love a kimono moment.
I mean, so
for sure.
I'm putting in a request for that. Some nice beach cover-ups. And, I'm just thinking of things I want her to have. A great beach bag because she goes to the pool all the time. I mean, the pool is right across the street. She has a little one. So she's in a bathing suit all summer. And I did not love her bathing suit. So I'd love to elevate her bathing suit game with enough construction in the top to hold her up, enough coverage, and then really cute bottoms. I think it'd be so fun to do print on print. Just my opinion.
Holly, I would love to help you do it.
I am not the designer.
I would love to create it. I would love to create that for you and for her.
And she could be our fit model. Just saying.
I love it. Love it.
She always tells me.
We fit on real women. Yeah. I mean, we fit on real women.
She always yells at me and tells me to get out her underwear drawer. And she's like, why are you always up my talking about my boobs? I said, because you have to have the right fit. You have to have the right fit. You have to have the right, and when you have little kids, you're at the pool consistently. Yep. So that was what's coming up next for her. I have a lot of ideas. This is great. I'm so excited that, that I can give my unwanted opinion to you and that you will accept. That's really nice. I really appreciate it.
I love that. I welcome opinion, feedback. I want to know. I love information. That's the only way I can keep creating and keep making things and making them better is if I get feedback and information.
Tell me how people can get in touch with you. Are you active on social media?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it? Tell us.
PariPassuShop.com is our website.
Got it.
And we are at Pari Passu Shop on Instagram, Facebook. I think that's it.
I mean, y'all got a good sale going on.
We do. Yep. End of season.
End of season.
We're on sale.
So listen up, people. If you are a size 14 or higher, today is the beginning of the rest of your life because you're going to start wearing Pari Passu. Shanna is going to be your new bestie. I get to boss you around and tell you what to wear and pick out it's a perfect plan. And I am so grateful to Shanna for all of her really good information, her tactic, her integrity about her product, the care and the love that goes into it. And just remember, the average size woman in America is between a 16 and an 18. You're above that, that's cool. You're below that, that's cool. It's all about being who you want to be. And I think that your models really speak to that. What we have coming up that we can expect for holiday is knitwear and leathers and big bags and dark, moody florals and some fun colors. Not everything has to be black. And that's another thing. If you're plus size, don't think that you have to wear black all the time.
Amen to that.
Nothing can be further from the truth. I want to tell you, Shanna, this isn't the last you've heard of me. I'm just telling you, this is not the last.
That better be a promise.
I know. And when I come knocking on your door on Monday, you're going to be like, why is she here? Because I want more people to buy your clothes, because I want people to get the right fit. That is what I teach. I teach fit first.
It makes you feel like $1 million.
Yes. You can't go to here and go over there if you haven't done the first thing you need to do first. And that is body awareness and what your body type is. Whether you're plus size or not plus size, it doesn't matter. This is just one section of being, it just happens to be, this is an amazing brand if you are plus size or if you know someone who is. But if you're not, it doesn't mean it's necessarily easier for you to fit as well. It just means that you need to try just as hard to get the right fit. Because people who are straight sizes, I'll tell you, a lot of them are not wearing the right size clothes.
That is true.
That is the biggest problem I work with. And that is the very first thing that we do, is that we talk about bra size. We talk about undergarments, fit, what size you're wearing. I've had people that are wearing the wrong size shoe, for the love of God. I'm a 9. Bitch, no, you're not. You're a 9.5. Oh yeah, I guess this does fit better. Okay. I mean, like, people just don't know. So kudos to you. I'm so happy. I mean, we fell into each other's laps. Turns out we're besties from a long time ago. And we did go to camp together. Even though we didn't know each other, we did go to the same camp. So that is proof from God, Allah, Jesus, whoever, that we need to be friends. So there you go.
Agree.
Duh. This is amazing. Shanna is going to be back. And thank you so much for
thank you for having me.
Of course, your tips, your knowledge, your value bombs, your truth bombs. We are so excited. And I'm going to see you the next time I'm in New York. My name is Holly Katz.
Can't wait.
I am your favorite personal stylist. You now know the best plus size label, newer label for you to shop at. If you have any questions, concerns, hit me up. Let me know. Send me a DM. Send me an email. Let me know what you need. I can hook you up with Shanna or anybody else. But we love supporting small businesses. And most of all, we love women supporting other women. Duh. Thank you so much for listening, Fashion Insiders. This has been the Fashion Crimes Podcast. My name is Holly Katz, and we are out.